Home. Couldn't be the Colorado Avalanche. Welcome into the Toyota Lounge, powered by your Front Range Toyota dealerships for the DNVR Avalanche pregame show. We got Big E and Rudo coming to you live. The Avs taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs with a couple of new faces in the lineup. It's gonna be interesting to see how quickly the Avs can adjust. E, obviously, Nelson and Coyle adding two guys to your lineup is always an adjustment, but you're also talking about adding two centers to your lineup. I think I'm less worried about Nelson. You have a Nichushkin as a stabilizing play driver on that second line with him. Is there anything the Avs need to do to make Coyle fit in?
The good thing is he's a very good veteran, and you know we talk about that story all the time. I'm so glad he's here now because we missed on him back then. I know that Neil Shea, amateur scout for the Avs, it's still there in the Boston market. Fought so hard to get him back then, and you know, we ended up passing on him. And again, I tell you, I had nightmares since then. And you know, I've been so like, oh man, we missed on it. But I'm so glad he's here. Very smart guy, very smart two-way player, a guy that's been around, a guy that's played for different coaches, a guy that's used to different. He's not a rookie, so he's coming in. This is nothing new to him. I'm not worried about him adapting today. Is he going to play the best game of his life? I don't know. I don't think so. But what he's going to give you some stability. He's going to give you a centerman that's smart. I think one of the reporters asked him, like, hey, what do you expect? How is it meeting the guys? And he's like, man, I've met about like 5 people. I still haven't met the guys yet. That was a few hours ago when he met the press, right? Because that's why I love trade deadline. It's so fun. You get in there and what's it called? Adrenaline takes over, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then your instincts take over. You listen. He's a smart guy. Wait till you hear this guy speak. He's a very sharp shooter, very smart person. So I'm excited. Nelson, like you said, had that ability to have a practice. A little different. I don't think EJ's in the lineup, but you know, you come in there, that's all you hear about is center strength, center strength. That's how you win championships. Center strength, good D, and obviously some goaltending. So I do believe the Avs have everything. Starts tonight. This is the time to gel together for those 19 Rudo games. 18.
Is it 19 or 18? I keep
one of the
getting
two.
lost.
One of the two. You pick whatever you want. If you like Joe Sakic, it's 19. If you like Chris Drury, it's 18. You know? So I'm excited for it.
A Wolf in the Toyota chat asking for numbers.
I don't know.
Nelson is 11. I believe Coyle is 10.
Coyle was 13, so obviously that's
not
Val.
bad. Yeah, 10. I was right. Okay, we're good. And then EJ is 6 when he does draw back in. He gets his number 6
big fella.
back. Yeah,
the big fella.
So that one you're used to. Not expecting EJ to play tonight, which isn't a big surprise. I mean, EJ knows the score. He said it in his interview when he got here too. Like, I'll play 5 minutes. I'll play 10 minutes. I'll scrape the ice at intermission. Like he knows what's up. So,
and you hear me say it all the time. There's so much you can do by, even if you don't play a lot of shifts in a game, you know what I mean? There's a way to be useful on the bench. There's a way to be useful in the locker rooms. There's a way to be useful on the plane on practice. That's why they got Eric Johnson. Again, on top of playing on the ice, he'll give you whatever he's going to give you, whatever he's going to get. He's used to Jared Bednar. I mean, so there's nothing new there. So this is an easy transition for everybody around.
It's you bring up Bednar, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this because Bednar has been, for a lot of these Avs, their only coach.
Yeah.
McKinnon technically had Waugh for a couple years, but certainly the only coach that McKinnon's seen success with is Bednar.
Yeah.
You look at some of the younger guys like Cale, his only NHL coach.
Yeah.
Does that make it harder for guys to jump into those systems, or does it make it easier because you have all those guys that are so in tune with it?
Probably easier, you know what I mean? And I think that, you know, it's, again, if you've been around, you've had different coaches, It would be harder probably for a Cale to get traded to go somewhere else because you've only had one.
Right. I agree with that.
That's
for
what
sure.
I'm saying. But I think the opposite makes it that you've been able to adjust sometimes, and I think that that's a fair question. Some guys, as we know, adapt quicker than others. But there's no time this year for, when you get a guy at the deadline, we saw with Casey last year.
You got a month and a half.
You got to get going.
Yeah.
And I think that if you got to stay at the rink and you got to put in the work in the afternoon, more like football, a little bit of classroom, a little bit, then you do. If it's coming in, because it's very similar to a coach you had in Boston and you're used to it, then it's okay. But then again, it's hockey. You got to trust your instincts. It's not football. It's not a playbook. We have tendencies. We have, I hate the word systems, but, we have places they want you to be, and especially defensively, but then offensively, go create and go do what you do. So I'm not worried about those guys. They're veteran. They're going to be fine.
So let me ask you this then. The Avs add offensive goal-scoring firepower.
Yeah.
The Leafs add Brandon Carlo to their defensive end to try and shore things up there. One, how do you think the Avs match up against the Leafs? But two, with the Avs going out and getting forwards, is that an easier transition to a new team than a defenseman like Carlo to Toronto?
I do believe, again, I go back to when young kids are coming into the National Hockey League. It's harder for a defenseman to get adapted quickly to the National Hockey League. So I would tell you that it's probably the same thing for a D. It's a little bit different. Again, on the offensive side, it's more freelancing, so to speak. On the defensive side,
got some more creativity.
It's more creativity. That's the word. On the defensive side of things, it's more, reads. This is how we read it. This is how we go. We all know the Avalanche, a little bit of a hybrid system, and it's not that easy. So maybe I don't even know how Toronto plays defense. To be honest with you guys, they're in the East. I don't
badly.
Well, yeah. So it can be a little different, but it'll be fun. This is a good test for the Avalanche, too, with Matthews, Marner, a lot of firepower there. I don't know if Marner's going to be a little mad that, that sounded like he was in the Rantanen deal there somewhere. I don't know. I don't know him personally. Again, trade deadlines, there's always feelings hurt, on the player side of things or management side of things. So,
yep.
And you never know. But I think tonight, I'm excited. I'm excited for tonight's game. I was walking over here from the house, and oh man, I am pumped for this game. And I think a lot of people are. A lot of people will be tuning in worldwide to watch this game tonight.
I think so. You've seen more than a few people put the Avs, if not number one, top three as a contender after the trade deadline. So people are aware. They're taking the Avs seriously right now with the additions that they've made. Give me 3 keys for not just the new guys, but the Avs as a whole to stay perfect at home right here.
To be honest with you, I'm just, looking at them right here just to get back to... Give me a second there because I can't read. We all know that. We all know I can't read. But key number 1, I kept it very simple.
That is very simple.
Yeah, you know what? Do your job. Management gave you tools. Now find the consistency that we've been talking about it all year, right? And I know for a fact, because you heard the comments from guys at practice yesterday, today, the one thing you like about management, and when management gives you a chance to win, that's the only thing you can ask for as a player. And I think that the Avalanche management gave that to their core group, to the rest of the team. So go do your job today. Go do your job today. Go do your job the next 19 games. You got to get in. We all know you got to get in before you can have success in the playoffs. But go do that. They did their job. Now do yours. 2, find chemistry. Very simple.
Yep.
Find your spot. Find your nest. There's no egos. We talk about the 4 nations, and it's a short tournament, and guys are going in there. Oh no, I don't care if I'm a scrap. It's the same thing when you're going into a mission, which is the mission. Not to use Ray Bork's thing, 16W, which is coming up, and that's you got to get in there. You got to find your nest. You got to want to be that spot. Yep. If there's a third line spot there, you want to be the guy. It starts today. Get in there. Show what you can do. Find some chemistry. Obviously, on the back end. Who knows what the pairing's going to be? There's going to be probably a top 5 and then somebody kind of going in and out of there. Who knows? Who plays well together. Go from there, find that chemistry. Number 3, Frank the Tank. Keep streaking at home. You know what I mean? We're going streaking. Let's make it 5 in a row now. That was the goal. We talked about a 6-0 homestand. wow, you're going to have
win
some
tonight,
energy.
you're
You
looking
win
pretty
tonight,
good
and
for
you're
it.
looking pretty good, one game at a time. But it's going to be some energy in the building. There's a buzz around town. There's been a buzz a little bit with what they did, retooling along the way, the goaltending, retooling with the Mikko situation. It's not like Marty Necas is not someone you spit on. And then all of a sudden, what they did the last couple of days with the centerman position and bringing back a fan favorite in Eric Johnson to help you wherever it is that he's going to help you. He can help you in many places. The building's going to be rocking, so let's go. This is exciting tonight. I'm pumped.
Just to confirm what we talked about earlier with the Avs lineup, it is Wood and VC as the scratches on the forward side again tonight, and Malinsky is back in for Middleton. So nailed the lineups as expected. Nelson will be your 2C, Coyle will be your 3C. You'll run down your wings the same as they've been for a handful of games now.
So who's with? So Charlie, left side will be Ross, and right side will be
Kivy.
the cat.
Yep.
The cat.
Which I think
lives.
I think Ross is playing the right for them actually.
Whatever.
But yeah.
The cat lives, and then you got LOC, Paca,
Yeah.
and so we're missing one now.
Who were we forgetting?
If Woody and VC are out, we're missing one.
Kelly Parker Drury.
Oh, I forgot about Drew. That's right. That's right, because now you have a four center.
There's
Yeah,
an
that's
extra
right.
center in front of Jack Drury now. Yeah, that's the
That's
difference.
where we were missing one. I gotcha. We're good.
All right. We do have more to talk about with the centers, but Jared Bednar did speak at morning skate, so let's hear what Coach had to say about the new forward look for the Colorado Avalanche going up against Toronto tonight.
Need to keep it a little bit short, guys, because Jared has meetings.
Coach Blackwood going tonight?
Yes.
You get a veteran back in EJ that you're familiar with. Brock Nelson's coming in new. He gets one practice under his belt. You got Coyle tonight. Kind of what are your expectations for all three?
These guys are good players, right? And have been good players where they're at. Good, well-rounded 200-foot game from all those guys. And, yeah, I mean, we're going to throw them right into the fire tonight. Like, when you meet with some of those veteran guys on system stuff, there's some differences, there's some similarities, but you can tell just from talking to them right away. Like, they've played for different coaches, they've played under different systems, and yeah, they're picking it up quick based on our conversations. They're asking the right questions. So I expect them to come into our lineup and provide similar things that they provided to their last team, which we like. That's why they're here, right? So one thing I like about the addition of all those guys is its strength and size down the middle, which always helps in all three zones, whether it's creating offense and getting off the walls and getting to the net front, or if it's in the D zone, closing plays out and getting us in and out of the zone. And again, this, especially the two centermen, you know, like they're used to playing down low against top competition, and they're big body guys that can do that and have a really good understanding of what their role is. So I'm excited to see them play and get this thing to all come together.
What type of role do you see Eric Johnson playing here at this time?
Yeah, it just depends. So he hasn't played a lot of hockey here, so he's going to be out tonight. And then we got to get him up and going. I'll meet with him. He's the one guy that I haven't met with yet. We'll talk, but everyone kind of knows how our D shape up, right? We got those top five guys, and then we have a mix of guys that provide different things. So we kind of know what EJ is, and we feel like he's a guy that can help provide us something to win hockey games. Size, puck moving ability, he's a committed defender. And just from talking to EJ on the phone yesterday, he's willing to do whatever it takes, in whatever role, as big or as small as that will be, to try and help us win. So I love that attitude, getting him back in the room. You know, he's a guy with a lot of personality, as you know, and I think that's good for our team. He's really excited to be here, and we're excited to get him back.
Does it surprise you that he said he would do anything, even if that meant shoveling the ice in between periods just to be here?
No, it doesn't, because that's how he was when he was here last time. You know, like when I first got here, he was our number one defenseman, and like that role diminished. Didn't make it any less important, but obviously you add guys like Taze, Makar, etc. You know, like someone's role. Someone's got to sacrifice a little bit in their role, and but we need 20, and now we've got 8D, 14 forwards. It's not easy to pick guys to sit out, but we're going to try and keep everybody involved here and find the right mix for what we want to, you know, so we can get to where we want to go. We're going to need everybody.
Corey.
Jay said that he thinks this is the best or deepest team you've had since the cup run? Is this the best or deepest team, like compared to say where you were right now a year ago?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, like on paper, I think it is. I think with the addition, and we have had a lot of additions, right? Like that's 8 guys in the year now that we've added, and they all play significant roles. So, like we need this time, in my opinion, to get dialed in, so I know how to deploy guys and where to trust them, and so their teammates do as well, and to get everyone on the same page. And we'll have to play around with chemistry a little bit, but certainly on paper, you look at the strength down the middle, the veteran presence. We've got a lot of committed checking type players that are doing a really nice job and have done a nice job all year. So, and we're finally healthy with some depth, So it's important that our guys believe it is, and now we got to go and prove it.
What are your thoughts on Mikko Rantanen suddenly being back in the
Yeah. Well, I'm happy for Mikko that he got signed and got a deal in a place where he obviously wanted to go, or a destination where he felt comfortable to sign an 8-year deal. He's a great teammate. He's been a great player for us, and we were able to win together. And I'll never forget that. But it's going to be tough playing Dallas. It makes Dallas better right away, And we feel we've gotten better. It's going to be interesting. It'll be a lot of fun playing against those guys if we're able to get there. And I wish them the best there, just not against us.
Coach, you talked about depth, specifically needing it at center a lot. You guys have one of the best 1 through 4s right now down the middle, maybe in the league. How excited are you for what CMAC was able to do for you guys?
Yeah, for all the reasons that I just mentioned, I'm excited about it. Yeah, I want to see these guys play, but I love that mix of veteran presence, smart, intelligent, two-way players with good size, offensive ability and defensive ability. I think it slots us the way I would picture it in my head, and I'm looking forward to seeing it all come together.
Coach, how significant is it for Brock Nelson to come in here and already know Devontae's, know a couple other guys, for him to just kind of be more comfortable coming right in?
Yeah, I think it helps. Every guy he's had a past relationship like with Mac. They know each other. Like every guy that helps make your transition easier, especially for a guy like Brock. Like he's been on the island, right? And it's going to be different. Even the travel out west is different, and so I think building those relationships on and off the ice for all of our new guys and making them feel comfortable, and them still like finding their voice in our locker room and using those guys are all really good leaders, and we want as many leaders in the room as we can have. So the more they feel comfortable to be able to open up and make this feel like a family, the better off we're going to be.
Time for a few last ones.
What do you think tonight will be like what this game will be like? Both sides have some new faces in there, the energy, what are you expecting tonight? I'm
expecting it to be, a hard-fought contest. I mean, because both teams are excited, right? Both teams get playing pretty well, get additions at the deadline, important time of year. They're in an arms race for first overall in their division. We're in a race here to make sure we're solidifying a playoff spot and trying to climb the standings. It's important 2 points, and you get two teams feeling pretty good about themselves recently and their additions. So everyone should be excited to play tonight.
Josh Manson going tonight?
He is.
What was the most surprising thing to you of all the action yesterday, trade-wise?
I was surprised we got the guys we got.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it's I think CMAC did a really nice job of, there was a lot of movement. I can't say I wasn't expecting that, but to get after making some of the additions that we have, and to be able to get those two guys down the middle of the ice, I think those are significant moves, and probably was the most surprised at that, to be honest.
Thank you, Jared.
Yep, thank you.
Eric, if I told you "esquere," would you know what I'm saying?
No, not a clue, buddy.
Okay, just checking.
Aesthetic?
Esquere.
I thought you meant like aesthetic, like it's aesthetically very nice. Or no, I have no idea.
Let's get it.
Oh, all right. Let's get it.
Got to teach him some of the slang. All right.
Yikes.
A little bit. Look, realistically, I talked about how the Avs can help Coyle, but what can the Avs expect for impact out of Nelson and Coyle in a game like this? You talked about Nelson does at least have a practice under his belt.
Yeah.
Can we expect them to come out and produce tonight, or is this you know what, some other guys might have to carry the load?
No, what I think, like I said, it's a bit of a whirlwind because, for Charlie, for example, probably flew this morning.
Yeah.
Flies with Brendan Carlo, and then next thing you know, he's playing against Brendan Carlo in the corner. How weird is that? Right there, that's weird. That's not normal. Adrenaline can send, but what it gives you is solid lines going in there against a team that plays high-powered offense. You know what I mean? So I like that. Charlie Coyle's a very smart two-way player. Brock Nelson is. What did AJ call him yesterday? The zone entry king, you know what I mean? And then again with Val with that. And then we all know the Marty Potty with, Mac and Lecky. So all of a sudden you're getting
Boston coming out a little
the
bit.
Marty Potty. Yeah. And then, and then we all know LOC. What's his name? Jack. And
yep.
I'm not worried about Jack Drury. Jack Drury will play with anybody, play good.
It's a true shutdown fourth line with the guys you have on it. Yeah.
You're stuck. Oh God, our fourth line on an icing. Man, who cares?
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. They can all play. They're all smart defensively. You win championships by playing solid defense. And what I mean by that is when you pay attention to details, when you have quick in the back end. I'm talking about. I don't care what you do in the sandbox in the offensive zone, but you got to be sharp in your own end. You have to have the details on point, and that doesn't matter what systems you're playing. That means having your stick on the ice, stop and starts. Charlie Coyle, Brock Nelson, they have that in their game. Not worried about that. So, yeah, I expect a lot from those guys tonight. Again, 19 or 18 games we talked about.
Yep.
Let's go. There's no time to wait.
No time to waste. Eric, can you predict the future? Can you look into the crystal ball? Can you give me a score and a name for tonight's game?
Yes, sir. I am going 4-2 dub. I'm going to give the old pesky Maple Leafs 2 tonight because they can score. But I'm going to stick with the guy last week that I was trying to get a hat trick from. I'm going to stick with Val. I think, with Brock Nelson, I expect a big game out of Val tonight. You know what I mean? And I'm
here for it.
He's just starting to get into it, right? You know what I mean? Like from his comeback. What is that? No, 5, 6. Give and take.
Numbers are impossible. Don't do math on air.
Give and take. Yeah. Especially when you're on the air all day yesterday. Our brains are a little bit scattered right now. But I'm going to go Val Natushka. I'm going to go 4-2 Avs. I expect a solid, fun hockey game. Hey, Maple Leafs come to town once a year. Original 6, team. It's always fun. Yeah. What is yours?
I don't hate a low-scoring game, but I think it might be more like 3-1. I think we're due for a really good Blackwood game. I think that's where I'm at with this one. I do expect a little bit of roughness around the edges when it comes to chemistry and stuff, so I don't know that the Avs totally pop off, but I mean, McKinnon's 3 points away from 1,000, so maybe he just goes and gets it tonight. If I'm not taking the easy answer there, though, I am going to go on the other side. I'm going to take Druin on that second line to do some heavy lifting.
Perfect. Why? Because he's a lefty? He's going to give it to Drew on his one-timer. That's why.
All right. I'm good with that. I'll take that.
That's fine. I'll give it to you.
That's how you want to have it happen.
But I forgot about Mac. Yeah. I'm going Mac gets it.
There you go.
Hockey night
all three-pointer, a 3-point night. I'm here for that. No, I didn't hear that song until I was like 20.
It's the best song in the world.
Yeah, well,
La soirée du hockey.
I'm a little too far.
De Molson. Molson, une bière. I'm doing the French part.
I got it. I picked up on that.
All right.
Those are our picks, but we also have some pregame picks for you, brought to you by Bet365, where they keep things never ordinary. Jump in with that. Join my picks if you think I'm smart, or if you think I'm stupid, bet against me. I don't really care. I did
you
take
are stupid.
The Avs to cover, so I do need the Avs to win by 2 at -1.5. They're plus 160, though, so pretty good money for the Avs to cover on Toronto. I had fun with it. I took the Nelson goal, plus 140 for him to come in and be a goal scorer for the Avs tonight. Always fun on that front. And then on my last bet, I went a little bit safe, but it's a really easy bet. Only -120 for Blackwood to make 23.5 saves.
Oh, okay.
That's a really low,
yeah,
really low save total for Blackwood to get
that's
to
good,
against a team like Toronto. So feel like that one's a pretty easy one to hit with okay money on it. Either way, whatever you're betting on, whether it's the Avs, other hockey, or other sports, make sure you do it with Bet365 and the DNVR 365 code. Of course, when you do gamble with Bet365, you must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. And if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER today. We haven't really talked about Toronto too much here. They obviously have firepower up front. I know you mentioned Marner, maybe a little bit of mental discomfort, allegedly turned down a trade to Carolina using his no-trade clause. But they still have an Austin Matthews at the top of that lineup. You still have a Willie Nylander in that lineup. Are the Avs prepared to be able to control these guys defensively?
Well, that's why I say it's a good test today, for their new built roster, so to speak, as we know, with a little bit different on the back end, but straight down the middle, very strong at the center position. Ryan Lindgren's just been there a few games, So I think it's important to see how the guys react. I'm not going to be the guy after the game to tell you but it's the first game. We're past that. I think it's let's go, and you got to jump in. But you're right. Toronto's got some high-powered guys. I love Willie Nylander. He's one of my favorites. Willie Styles. It seems like nothing bothers that kid, and he's just got some swag. And boy, is he a good hockey player. And Matthew Nyes, guys like that. They have some good, young secondary guys. Looking forward to the game tonight. So like I said, it's a fun one, and it's an original 6 team coming on a Saturday night, 5:00 in Denver. Let's go play hockey, man.
AJ's not here, so I can say this. We were talking in the DNVR Discord today about potential free agent targets for the Avs at the end of this season. John Tavares is a free agent at the end of the year. Any interest there or too expensive?
I like JT. I like his two-way game. Could have been an Av back then, right? Who knows what would have happened if he doesn't go one?
Yeah, the different draft order there.
We were ready. But I like John. I like John Tavares. Who knows what's going to happen with what? I think he's tied into Marner. Marner signed, and there's no more money for him, and he doesn't want to take that little discount. Then maybe he has to go somewhere else. So I don't know. But smart player. I've always liked him.
It's a good player. I don't know if
over 1,000
makes
points.
sense for the Avs as a second liner.
But who knows what's going to happen with this summer.
Lots of other
Chris
conversations.
Said yesterday,
there,
C-Mac said it yesterday. We'll deal this summer with
when it's summertime.
The UFA period, yeah.
Tavares is 33 or 34, I forget, but he's not young, for sure.
Not the fastest guy.
And playing for the opposing team in tonight's game, so let's not look too far ahead. The Avs have done a good job of going 1-0 every single night on this homestand so far. You go tonight, you move to 5-0. You really start putting pressure on Minnesota if you can continue to keep this win streak up if you're the Avs. Realistically, I talked about it. I want your contender rankings. Where do you rank the Avs and where do you rank Toronto? I'm assuming they're both in your top 10.
Yeah. I'm sticking to what I've been saying. Avs are coming out of the West. I said that this summer, as you know. I've said it all year long. And I said I did believe that they were going to do something to fix their goaltending at the start of the year. Because remember, I said whoever's going to start first game's not going to be the guy that's going to be playing the last game of the season.
You're right about that.
And I said they're going to do something at the deadline to make me believe they're contenders. So I do believe that in the West, the Avs are the team. In the East, you got to think at some point, Toronto's got the pressure to do it. I do like their odds. Washington is a team I never thought, would be the one, kind of flying through the East right now. Are they going to come out of the East? I don't know. But I bet you Toronto could come out of the East easily for me right now. That's just the way I feel. Some good people on the other side that I like, Plus, I was drafted by them, so let's go.
There you go. All right, we are going to wrap up this pregame show. If you're local, the game will be on Channel 20. If you're not local, it's on NHL Network tonight. So either way, go watch the game. If you want to join the watch-along and watch along with us, you can do that in just a few minutes here. And at the very least, join us for the postgame where we'll break it all down for you no matter what happens. This has been the DNVR Avalanche pregame show, and we'll talk to you in a little bit.
We all silly like the mayor.